Hello. Yes, Mr. Ibrahim. How many
Yeah.
seconds are required to take or to check normal breathing? We have answers here. You just need to choose from here.
30 seconds, sir.
Uh-huh. 30 seconds or this uh, breathing check shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. Okay. When we check
10.
breathing, it shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. Now, there is another one. The rate of
Okay.
contractions given per minute during CPR is talking about per minute, not per cycle. It's talking about per minute. And if you have heard, this video more carefully, this doctor's ABCD, then you must remember, out of this number choices, what do you think? What could be here? The answer. Rate of compressions given per minute during CPR. It's compression, like interlock your fingers, your elbows, and you push harder and faster in the middle. Like so, per minute, how many compressions? So you need to remember 100 to 120 per minute, but not the cycle. Cycle is different, that's we'll discuss next.
120.
Rate of compressions per minute during
100 to
CPR 100 to 120 compressions. That means almost in 1 second two compressions. It's a very fast, that is why I push harder and faster in the middle of the chest. And in America, in all 50 states, American Heart Association, they have published and implemented one two-step kind of CPR, authorization for the general public. And what they have guided how to call 911 and how to push harder and faster in the middle of the chest. And through this way, they are saving a lot of lives. So, but overall, technically, it's 100 to 120 compressions, means in 1 second almost in two compressions. Number of breaths given during CPR. How many breaths? Yes, we have discussed. It should be two. Number dialed for ambulance services 911. Number of compressions
991.
during CPR. What do you think? Number of compressions during CPR. Like pushing, How many times?
Hello, can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, it's two times per 1 second.
Okay. Uh-huh. Excellent. Okay, now we are discussing about number of compressions during CPR. That's what you are like two compressions once per second. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay, but they're talking about number of compressions during CPR. So 30 compressions. They are talking about the cycle. Like 30 compressions, two breaths. 30 compressions, two breaths. So this is the same cycle you need to follow until the ambulance arrives. So in one circle, in one cycle, 30 compressions, but overall in 1 minute is 100 to 120 compressions. But 30 compressions, then two breaths, this is the cycle you need to follow. Okay?
for every 30 compression, we can
Yeah,
give breathe.
exactly. Perfect. Perfect. Now, there is another one, percentage of oxygen in the air that we breathe. How many, like minimum oxygen we
Calculation
breathe?
with
Especially as per Saudi Aramco or as per Saudi Arabian environment, the minimum oxygen is recommended is 20%. Okay, but as per OSHA, Occupational Health and Safety Administration or USA, they says it should be like 19.5% minimum and 23.5% maximum. So the normal oxygen range is 19.5% to 23.5% as per OSHA USA. But as per Saudi Aramco or as per Saudi Arabian condition is 20% is minimum and 23.5% is maximum. So that is the normal range. Below or above, both are hazardous. Now, percentage
So
of
you mean
cardiac arrest.
Saudi Arabia?
Yes, sorry.
Excuse me. If you mean In Saudi Arabia, with the Saudi Aramco standard, that's 20% up to 35%.
Yeah, minimum oxygen level 20% and maximum 23.5%. Like if you have a project in confined space, so you need to ensure that the minimum oxygen level like is 20%. If it's less than 20%, you need to wear scuba, self-contained breathing apparatus. But if it is like 23.5% or above than 23.5%, then no entry, no work, especially in the confined space, because of fire and explosion hazard. So these are some of the regulations.
35%. I cannot hear you well.
23.5%, the maximum.
23.5. So 20 from 23.5.
Yeah, 20 to 23.5%. 20% to
Saudi standard and Aramco standard.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But American standard is 19.5% to 23.5%. That is American standard. Okay. Now, the last question is percentage of cardiac arrest victims that have agonic gasp. How much? Like 40% in the world, the heart attacks, 40% are happening because of lack of oxygen in our lungs. It's a huge ratio. 40% people, they are facing heart attack because of lack of oxygen into their lungs. They are not containing sufficient oxygen. That is why the doctors always recommend have a morning walk, go to some hilly areas, get some fresh oxygen, and make your heart more powerful, more healthy. So, but still 40% is a terrible percentage, I would say. The people are facing heart attack 40% because they're not getting sufficient oxygen. Like minimum oxygen, how much? 20% in Southern. Now there is an opportunity, like might be you have environmental engineer for your site. You can tell him that we need to have air analysis and we want to know how much oxygen we have within our territory, project site, or especially in the confined spaces. And your authorized gas tester is another gentleman who can help you for this one. The authorized gas tester, he must tell what is oxygen level, what is like H2S level in ppm or carbon monoxide or LEL, lower explosive limit or upper explosive limit, whatever, at least these four readings. And if you have multiple gas detector, maybe MX6 hybrid, that means two more further gases you can check. And if you have advanced technology, then the complete air analysis are also possible. What I mean is, minimum 4 elements must be tested in the confined space, like oxygen level, then H2S, carbon monoxide like CO, and LEL, lower explosive limit. These four gases, in other words, must be tested. And your authorized gas tester have to be competent to conduct gas testing, especially if your project belongs to confined space. And confined spaces mean the restricted area, the danger zone, a place which is not designed for human occupancy, have plenty of safety or health hazards, can kill people in seconds, because of toxic environment, or maybe fire and explosion hazard. That is why it is recommended don't work if oxygen level is above than 23.5% in confined space. Don't work if this H2S is above than 20 ppm or above than 100 ppm, like because 100 ppm is ideal H of H2S also. Don't work if carbon monoxide is 1000 ppm or above. Don't allow anyone to go into confined space. Don't allow anyone to work if LEL is 10% or above than 10%. So these are some of the further regulations which we need to follow. And that should be part of our PTW system, permit to work system. And while we issue the permit, we double check that the gas test results are attached. Everything is, if anything is abnormal, yes, we have put some controls in place. or we have ventilate the area, or we have water wash, or streaming or purging process, further technicalities. And when we deliver, Mr. Ibrahim, when we deliver this NIBOS process safety management training, then we give a lot of examples of high hazardous industries like oil and gas, or paper industry, or chemical industry, or even pharmaceutical. In other words, we give different examples, including mining, wherever we have more chances of confined spaces, like manholes, tanks, pipelines, different, or excavated area deeper than 1.2 meter or 4 feet. That should also be considered confined space. So it should be part of our strong PTW system to control our each project, especially in our restricted area. And our restricted areas should also be defined on the drawing, proactively, that how many restricted areas are there and what is our mechanism to allow somebody to work there. So percentage of cardiac arrest victims that have a gonal gas is 40%. And I'm telling you, it's a terrible percentage, by the way. So these are the answers. Okay. Second to take check breathing is 10, then 100 to 120 compressions per minute. 2 breaths. 911 is ambulance.
Number of
And I will share this
milliliter.
presentation. Don't worry. You can refresh your knowledge anytime. Okay. No.
Okay, sir.
You have seen one video related to choking also. Do you remember what would be the first step? Can we see? Can we put in sequence like step number 1 to 5? Like out of these 5 steps, which one is the first one? Okay, please.
Number 3 is the first.
Okay. Encourage the cat to cup.
First,
Excellent.
yeah,
Number 2.
increase the cap and number 2, given the number 2 repeat 3 times.
Number 2 is repeat 3 times.
No,
Like
check.
if you are encouraging the
No, sir. First
cavity
is the check the mouth and remove the
obstruction.
number one. Number one is
Mhm. No, no. Let me tell you that
second is
number 1 is already correct. You mentioned this. Encourage the cat to cup. This is number 1. It's correct one, Mashallah. What is number 2?
okay. Number second is repeat 3 times.
Uh-huh. Like encouraging the casualty to the curve, that should be repeated for 3 times. That's what you mean? So number 1 is encourage the cat to curve. Number 2, once you encouraged him to curve, now the second step, logic says check the mouth and remove any obstruction there. Because he's coughing, and now
Check
we need to
check the
check
mouth.
if any like any obstructions are there
Yeah.
that need to be removed. Now the third step is you remember this back blow,
Repeat
5
that.
back blows. That was number 3 step,
Yeah.
and number 4 was if back blows doesn't work, then this 5 abdominal thrust that you can try, and the last number 5 is repeat 3 times. So I repeat again: encourage the cat to cup is number 1. Check the mouth and remove any
Okay.
obstruction number 2. Give up to 5 back blows number 3. Give up to 5 abdominal thrust number 4, and repeat 3 times is number 5.
Three
That is
times.
the answer what we were talking about. Okay. So I will share this presentation, inshallah. Okay, guys. So that was all about related to first aid and CPR. Rest, I will share a few of the videos just to handle some of the injuries. That's in the video I'm going to share. And after the video, this session is over. Thank you very much. And I need your WhatsApp number so I can share this presentation, and or you can note down my WhatsApp number and just say hello, hi. You know, this WhatsApp number is written here.
Okay, sir.
So please don't forget to WhatsApp me, because through WhatsApp it's more easier for me to share training material or any other stuff. And let me just share a few of the videos, then the session is over.